Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us on American Warrior Radio. So glad you're here. And I do hope that if you like what you hear, you're going to share it with others. Click on the subscribe button and the notification tab there so that every Sunday when a new episode drops, you'll be notified. It's very important. And please, like I said, share this information. Guess what? This June, every June, is PTSD Awareness Month. PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. It's now being called or termed PTS, but it's post-traumatic stress disorder. Has been since the Vietnam War when they actually classified it in the DSM-3, I think, at that time. Now we're on DSM-5, Diagnostic and Statistical Manual for Psychological Disorders. So now we're calling it PTS, whatever. It's June. That means we've got to work on this because part and parcel to PTSD, this is where ordinarily returning combat vets come back from war and they've seen things and experienced things and probably done things outside the realm of normal human experience, and it bothers their brain. They're not able to process it. They have nightmares, flashbacks, hallucinations, startle response, hypervigilance, whole list of bad things going on in their mind. We have clued you in the past, and if you watch a particular episode of American Warrior Radio with Dr. Scott Fairchild, which we conducted at Baytree Behavioral Health, I think it's one of our most watched episodes, 10,000 hits or something like that. Go back, scroll back and find that. It'll be compensation and pension for PTSD. Great interview, good information. Well, it's June, so I'm just touching on this topic because it's important that we raise awareness. Why? Because we're losing 22 plus veterans a day. I'm not even talking about the active duty side of the house. 22 women and men every day in this country are taking their own lives. Now, it could be PTSD. It may be some other mental disorder. Could just be overwhelming stress. This month, let's focus on that. Let's try and eliminate veteran suicide. PTSD. It leads me to this little fact sheet. If you have been diagnosed with a mental health issue, it has a stigma, I understand. In the professional realm, they call it a neuropsychiatric disorder. Neuro and psychiatric. There's a place where you can go for help. So many people affected with a mental health or a neuropsychiatric disorder are hesitant to engage help, whether it's group therapy, individual therapy, pharmacological therapy. They're hesitant. Well, guess what? We have to get over that. We have to help our brothers and sisters understand, yeah, there's a stigma, but this is your life. And it's the life of your family and friends and coworkers, everybody potentially around somebody adversely affected by a neuropsychiatric disorder can be impacted. So let's address the problem. You want anonymity when you speak to a caregiver. Probably can't get that at the VA. If you go to your VA CBOC, community-based outpatient clinic or medical center, and you say, I need help, or you call the number that you'll always see trailing these episodes. If you're in crisis, you're going to have to give them personal information, and it's going to become a part of your record. If you're in total crisis, please engage the way that our producer has listed at the end of the PSA, the public service announcement that follows each of these episodes, because he's done a marvelous job. John Lopez, amazing. He's also on our board. Done a marvelous job of putting that information out there for you to use and share. Here's the clue that I'm going to give you. The hack, as they call it now. It's called Vet Center. What's that? A vet center the program was instituted after Vietnam because so many returning combat veterans were very hesitant to go into the VA and seek care. On a therapeutic level, the Vet Center was started and has expanded to a whole bunch of vet centers now. Almost wherever there's a VA medical center nearby or a VA clinic nearby, there should be a vet center. You can go online and find just on va.gov. Again, it's an ocean of information. I'm going to refine that for you. Click on the little search button and say Vet Center, Veteran Center near me. It'll give you a list of where you can go. Here's the neat deal, and this really is special. They recognized the stigma attached to it and the fact that so many combat vets from Vietnam were not seeking the care that they really needed. They created this, and it is anonymous. Did you hear me? You have full anonymity when you go to a vet center. In other words, it's great. And nearly everybody I have engaged with at the vet center has been top-notch. They really are there for one purpose, and that's to serve the veteran, to help she or he overcome whatever's bothering them. Now, there are qualifiers, and I want to just throw this out there. If you served on active duty in the military in a combat zone, check. You're eligible to go to the vet center. And there's no questions asked. Do they keep a record? Yes, but it stays within the vet center. Some point later, you want to use that information, their progress notes on your participation in group therapies or individual counseling, they'll provide it to you. And you can use that as to well ground your claim to the VA compensation, the VBA, Veterans Benefit Administration. You can use that information. But aside from that, Big VA is never going to know any of the details at the vet center unless you want them to know it and provide it to them. But you have to be eligible. So you were in a combat zone on active duty. There's a lot of them. Here's an important one. Military sexual trauma. If you suffered military sexual trauma, I'm so sorry about that, but there is help. And it's anonymous help through the vet center. Doesn't matter when you served. Doesn't matter when you served. If you suffered military sexual trauma, check. You're qualified to use the vet center. Here's something interesting. And a lot of us have provided mortuary services during our time abroad, whether it's downrange, whatever. Even here, if you provided mortuary services, in other words, you're dealing with dead people, dead military, check. You're eligible to use the vet center. Listen to this one, because they've expanded this list. Thank God. See, there are good things that are happening. If you were a crew member of an unmanned aerial vehicle in a combat situation, and you're eligible, check, you can go. Any Vietnam era veteran, boom, Vietnam era, 65 to 75. Doesn't matter if you went into combat or not, you're eligible, check that. If you served in any capacity with a uniform during a national emergency like a hurricane or a tornado or some such, you're eligible for that. Coast Guard, listen to this, that operated during a drug interdiction situation, you're eligible, check that. And then all the reserve components, I want to read it, who have a behavioral health condition or psychological trauma related to military service. So that's a list of eligibility for this benefit. Check it out. If you are afraid or hesitant to engage Big VA, your VA clinic or VA medical center, regarding a neuropsychiatric / mental health disorder, okay, maybe you've been diagnosed and you're getting medicine, but you just don't want to reveal yourself. You want to be out there. Maybe you don't want to be in. It doesn't matter. I understand, and so does the VA. That's why they created the Vet Center. Okay, so check it out, people. It's a great benefit. With that, I'm going to let you go with one thought. Don't forget, thank a vet. Hi everyone, it's Garen Cohn with American Warrior Radio. I'm here with my good friend Christian. We're here to deliver a very important message about a crisis in our land.
Suicide prevention, more specifically, veteran suicide prevention.
22 a day are taking their own lives. This must stop. This can't continue. If you or someone you know is contemplating suicide, please know that God has tomorrow planned for you. Don't take your own life. And just remember, suicide is a permanent solution
to a temporary problem.